Greetings, friends. This is Miguel, and I'm just showing you a drawing of this nice little waterfall scene that I do a little bit of watercolor on. And you're going to be hearing me go over a dream that I had, and then following that, you'll be hearing what I would call a channeled message that came through regarding the themes that have been present in my life of late. And I hope that this is pertinent information for you and it resonates for you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see your comment. Thank you very much.
I had a dream where many things happened. It was a amusement park of sorts that ended up being some sort of sham. There was yard work involved. I had a companion who turned out to be in disguise as a young boy, but it was not young boy, but like a teen who I thought I was helping, but it turns out he was my nemesis of sorts in this dream, in disguise as this teen. But the real message, I think, happened when I was summoned to meet with a man. The boy and I both, which is very strange, actually, because the boy maybe it was someone else, I don't know, but there was someone else at the summoning, and he was given a cigar to smoke, and after smoking some, he discovered that the cigar was rolled with $100 bills, and somehow, after smoking them for a period of time, it was still usable as currency. And while he was smoking that cigar, I was having a conversation with the man who had summoned us. And it was discovered that the man had a stack of papers for me. And it was understood that these papers were related to filling out the taxes for the years that I skipped, and there was an assuring calmness in the interaction that let me know that it was okay, and that all we needed to do was address the situation. And once addressed, everything would be all right. Which reminds me of how the universe always provides, regardless of how you may feel going into a situation. Well, actually, I think it very much does this phenomenon does hinge on how you feel going into a situation. And in this case, I have made a habit of trusting that all will be well, even in situations that would generally engender fear, worry, concern, panic, etc. I turned to God and I turned to trust. And it continues to be proven that this is a good approach. A good approach. And in this case, something along the lines of synchronicity, as many people might call it. But the synchronicity can be simply that once you take the steps to be responsible for, in this case, paying your taxes, the universe, God, your angels, however you'd like to personify the force that is ever working in your favor and bringing to you a vibrational match to how you feel. Constantly working. And in this case, I raised money, not by myself, with the help of many others. Money beyond what I normally would have made, so to pay amounts requested by the IRS. And I had the choice to be in fear and lack and concern and worry while paying this, or I could be in trust, in peace, in joy, in gratitude while paying. And that's what I chose. Trust more than anything, but also gratitude that I could, that I'm in such a position that I could, with effort, make as much money as I want. I can pay anything that I want, utilizing my skills and smarts that are God-given. This vessel is on loan to me. Me, the presence, me, the soul, me, the spark of God's light that animates this body. And that wouldn't even be the correct word. I'm simply present to this body. The animation is of God, beyond my capacity to truly know where the energy comes from, other than to say that it is from source, a boundless energy. All I need to do is be the custodian of this vessel ensuring its nutrition, its rest, its maintenance, and all opportunities, all nourishment, all abundance will be given freely to this vessel in proportion to how present the truth of me really is in each moment. Not being reactive, not allowing the vessel to play out its patterned, learned, egoic responses, being reactive, bringing the past into the present, as opposed to being fully present and responding with a grounded, breath-filled presence that makes responses from this grounded position. And so it seems an unknown amount of abundance synchronistically is on its way to me, to this vessel. Immediately following having paid the quote-unquote scary amount to the quote-unquote scary government. In the very same location, in both space and time, that this vessel did the work, did the action of sending the final payment in the correct way to the IRS at the gas pump, in that same parking spot, at that same gas pump, this vessel received notification that the friend whose home was filled with artwork that he had created had sold, and his portion of the sale of the artwork would be sent to him as soon as the next day. As soon as the next day. Rejoice. Rejoice knowing that anything joyfully given out is come back to you tenfold. Anything given out is come back to you tenfold. That is the nature of the benevolent universe. That is the nature of Source. That is the nature of God and His angels. We are taken care of. We are guided. We are loved. It is not up to debate. It's simply the truth of reality, the truth of the universe. But again, we are only taken care of to the extent that we trust that we are. For we are given the reality that we call to us. And this is why so many people, and even this vessel, experience so much repeated hardship and lack. Because it is simply a reflection of the vibration of the being that is given back to it. It is a reflection of what they expect. So in moments past, this vessel has expected, well, he has fluctuated. I will not say he's expected lack entirely, for abundance has been given to him time and time again, to the point that some have noticed it and been jealous. And that is because this vessel has had this presence peeking through many moments, allowing the peace, the trust, the positivity to be a magnet for abundance. But it was competing with all of the moments of egoic unconscious magnetization of lack, egoic unconscious magnetization of suffering, hardship, and unfairness. And this is more of a common element of many people. And this is one of the many things that this vessel, operated and witnessed by this presence that I am, has the opportunity to facilitate mending, not through literal application of his own efforts in meddling in other people's lives and situations, but in being a public example, a way shower, some may say, a light leader, it has been stated by some, someone who is just a few steps ahead, taking aligned action, taking the leaps of faith so as to be the example for the masses, so as to provide a safe and trustworthy example of how each of them, each of us, can operate in this world to bring better things to us, to magnetize, to recognize the magnetization of the vibration that you put out, and the importance and the fun of being an intentional operator within this phenomenon. Being an operator who is conscious of the machinations of the underlying framework of reality. That what you give out is what you get back. You magnetize to you material and experiential phenomenon that match and in fact are a magnification of that which you give out. That which you hold as true, that which you sit in. So as you sit in worry, fear, resentment, remorse, so too do you magnetize more to resent, be remorseful of, to fear, to worry about. The universe has no moral judgment on your choices. And it does see the vibration that you sit in, the emotions that you feel, as choices that you are making. Not that the emotions themselves are choices, but the sitting in them. What you do with the emotions. Do you alchemize them into positivity, into problem solving, so as to create a better world for yourself and others? Or do you allow your quote-unquote unfair circumstances to win against your psyche in a way and bring you down and accept your fate, as it were, to be a loser, to be poor, to be helpless? Or do you choose to alchemize whatever comes to you, good or bad, without attaching to it, but releasing it to God, as some may say? Trusting that you will be provided for, trusting that whatever circumstance comes your way, you will be able to handle it as the witness to the circumstance, as the witness using unconditional love and primarily, importantly, unconditional self-love at the core of your unconditional love. For if your feelings and actions do not align first with unconditional self-love before unconditional love for other, it is tainted and ineffective and will reverse on itself into a people-pleasing. Each individual must, there are not many musts in this world, but each individual must love themselves and put themselves and their needs and their joy above that of others. For if the individual is not in joy and does not feel loved and guided and cared for, whatever actions they take, whatever thoughts they think, will be tainted by the untrue waters of fear, uncertainty, doubt, resentment, jealousy, greed. I mean, you could even bring in sloth, all of these things that are seen as sins of the flesh. They are byproducts of living a life without adequate self-love, self-forgiveness, and trust in a benevolent universe that is ever working in one's favor. And so, coming back to the story of this vessel, neither I, the witness, nor the ego of this vessel knows the amount of abundance that is coming from the sale of the house with the artwork that he created will be. But I can assure you, dear listener, that it is at the very least going to match exactly the amount that he spent paying the IRS with his hard-work labor. That very moment that he chose to joyfully, trustingly send that payment, but as much as tenfold. It's kind of like gambling, if you want to think of it that way. You gamble with the universe, with the cards that are dealt, your inherent talents and passions, your skills, your natural abilities, and the circumstances that are given. These are your playing cards. These are the cards in your deck. And what you choose to do with them will inevitably magnetize some sort of outcome. And it is always a gamble of sorts as to what will come back to you. But when you're gambling with Source, you have a leg up if you know the truth of vibrational match, of magnetizing that which you express, that which radiates from you. So as you radiate peace and joy and trust and faith and abundance, so too will you magnetize all that you will need and more. So be certain to not sit too long in those lower vibrational negative emotions. Alchemize them, feel them fully, and then alchemize them into a power of positivity and magnetize to you more of what you want, not what you do not want. Know thyself. It is imperative that you operate from the highest knowing of the highest truth that you can attain. For if you are operating as a limited, egoic human, you may miss out on some of the wonders that will come to you if you can step into the knowing that you are a timeless, boundless being of light and love, which is temporarily experiencing the ride, like in a amusement park. You're on the ride that is named the name of your vessel. This one, this witness that I am, this perspective, this presence is experiencing the ride of Miguel Eduardo Davalos II. And I assure you that I am enjoying the ride. I know what I am in truth. I know who I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free. I am free. I am free. Got ahead of myself there and said the what before the who. Not that it matters all that much, but just so you know, when you choose to do a mantra similar to that, the original is, I know who I am in truth. And when you say you know who you are claiming not to be, as I said, this limited vessel, but you are claiming to be the witness, the spark of source, the spark of God that you truly are. That is who you are. And when you say, I know what I am in truth, you know that you are not just this vessel, you are this entire reality. All of physical manifestation is an outpicturing of you. You are all that you see, all that you experience. All of it is you. And when you say, I know how I serve in truth, you know that you are saying that you are serving by being the presence, by being the way shower, by being the example, by being your true self in service to the quote-unquote collective, which is just you in different manifestations. You serve the planet, you serve the collective, you serve yourself best when you are in your knowing of who you are and what you are. And when you say that you are free 3 times, you are claiming your freedom from internal persecution of thought, and free of fear, free of external judgment. And you are free to be creative, free to spread love, free to know that you are free, and know that you are incapable of taking true harm. The truth of you is invincible, infinite and inevitable. There is no end, no beginning. You cannot mess it up. But why not do a good job of it? Why not be present? Peace be with you. Breath be with you. Take deep, slow breaths in as many now moments as you can.